Welcome back to Caorle, Italy. We are here for the European Ultimate Championship Finals, EUCF 2022. It is, as you may have guessed, very, very, very wet. Thankfully, we are under a tent, so it is not so bad for us, but I feel a little bit sorry for the players out there, strutting their stuff in the rain to bring us a pre-quarter-final match in the open division here. We have Wall City from Berlin, Germany, up against Gentle from Ghent in Belgium. Benji Rees back with you in the booth for the final time today, joined by Ravi Vasudevan.
Hello, Benji. I'm very, very excited for this matchup between two powerhouses of the Central Division. As you said, Gentle here in green, getting third place last year at the EUCF. A bit of a shock to the world, doing that on their home turf, well, close enough to home turf in Bruges, Belgium. Wall City, a team that's been on the rise, getting top 8 for the first time in the EUCF in their club's history last year. They said that they would really like to crack that top 4, so two teams, very, very strong results last year, hoping to improve on that. Gentle at regionals did not bring their full squad. They're a little bit of a hangover from Worlds, so they just barely qualified in, but now that does not matter, Benji. Now they're at full strength here at the EUCF, going up against this team from Berlin, two extremely strong sides. I'm very excited to see what Belgium versus Germany does for us in this pre-quarter round.
And it is the Belgians who will begin on offense. Often known for their expansive style of play, and that one is thrown into the back of Leo Eichler. Probably not the way that the Germans envisaged getting the first turn of the game. Not that I think they particularly care. Julian Ursa swinging Paul Rickards. Now Wang towards the outside of the end zone, and despite the diving bid, Yol Ben Yosef can't come up with it. He's a disgrace to ULTI.TV. Only joking. We love you, lol. Here's another deep shot, this time from the Belgians, and what a surprise, Toby de Krijn comes down with it. He's seeing this one out for his brother Lander, and Gentle will take a 1-0 lead.
The de Krijn connection worked for Gentle here on that first point. A little bit of sloppy stuff from both teams to start off, but de Krijn brothers showing what forces they are. They really showed themselves on the big stage last year again at that EUCF performance. Everybody was talking about these brothers, especially Toby, who came down with that huck. Just a very, very strong set of brothers here. They're also paired with the Van de Vega brothers, who are a bit more on the handler side of things. Two sets of brothers on this team. Here we're going to see that throw D'd there by, well, could you even say it was a D?
I mean,
did you give him the stat? Did you give him the stat on that? Good placement of his body, I guess, from Leo Eichler. And now the great pass after the catch from de Krijn to de Krijn. Eichler's a player who I've seen on this Wall City team back earlier before they've been on that rise. He's been playing a lot, but since Wall City have been on the ascendancy, he's actually been injured most of the time, so it's good to see him out there on the field, making use of his body there with that block.
What you're also seeing there is when the Wall City defender went up to try and rip the disc away, came down heavy, and it left him out of position, and it meant that throw for Toby de Krijn is just, yeah, easy as you like.
Now we're going to see Wall City's O-line for the first time this game, and Gentle D-line on the other side. So let's see if it's a little cleaner or a little more sloppy fun here in the rain, Benji.
Yeah, when you're playing in conditions like this, you are almost certainly not going to be able to bring your A game. But can you adapt to that? Are you happy to play ugly sometimes?
It can come down to the mental game as the physical game becomes a little more equalized here in these muddy, sloppy, rainy conditions.
Brought in from the brick mark by Metzger. Nice break around here to Basov. Basov centering to Metzger. Looking for the continuation coming underneath his Wolf. Wolf for Jakob Diekman, a.k.a. Danger. Hoping to get his team out of some sticky situations today. Greenwald. The American, one of the captains for Wall City, pivoting. Getting the disc into the centre, back for Wolf. Wolf for Diekman on the sideline, toes it in. Now the upline cut, all plants to go back into the backfield. Very knifey release on that one, but it still works back into the hands of Wolf. Wolf blading towards the back corner for Diekman, and Danger's a formidable indoor player, but he's pretty good outdoors as well, one apiece.
Diekman, a player, you know, when that shot went up, looked a little bit speculative, looked a little terrible, but when you have a receiver like Diekman, it's actually on the money and exactly what you want. I was told by the Wall City side, talking to them before the game, that they consider him one of the top receivers in the game right now, in Europe especially. And you can see it right there. He had a number of catches during that point, and here you see that blade go up. Looks like a very tight window, but perfectly placed, and Diekman with the grab, with the toe, score for Wall City.
One apiece here, both sides holding their offense.
Wall City's a little cleaner than Gentles, has to be said. But it all counts the same here on the scoreboard.
Yeah, one apiece. Still plenty of time left in this game. Seen a lot of games go to 15 so far this week. This one certainly has the potential to, but you feel that when the weather's like this, it may be slightly less likely than it would otherwise have been for two teams that can look silky smooth on offense.
Well, an important consideration there, Benji, is that yesterday there were some lightning delays that stopped games. And if that happens here, the game could actually stop at any moment. And there are some warnings that lightning might be coming our way. It might be passing over us. We're not sure yet. So you have to be really, really safe and really, really sure that you take an early lead in this game because it could end at any time.
And not only was there lightning yesterday, but the day I arrived on the Wednesday, there was lightning in the evening as well. So it's something that I think all these players are probably aware of the possibility. Lovely offhand there to Van der Wegen. He's got no force, and that's a recipe for disaster, especially when Toby de Kraan's going deep. He's putting it for Arthur van der Wegen in the back of the end zone, and de Kraan had already walked away by the time his disc was caught. Cool, calm, collected, a little bit of swag in there as well. 2-1 Gentle.
A little bit of a de Kraan sandwich with Van der Wegen bread on either side of him there. Just great stuff from those two sets of brothers, like I said. A lot cleaner there from Gentle, but you cannot give Van der Wegen no mark. Look, he's completely unmarked there. And that is, of course, Aaron van der Wegen. Then on the other side of here on the score, you see Arthur van der Wegen with the score.
I mean, that's so
the
arrogant
class.
almost.
The class.
Also, here's what I want to know. What are they doing in Belgium to breed all these ultimate siblings? Like, how are they doing this?
It's a family game over there. It's a family game. The Yonkers, of course, as well. I'm curious for the Belgian national team on the cycle next year. Do you have to be a brother of a player to make the team? I think they might be able to have a pretty good line of just brothers there.
I know that there's a couple of young Van Qualies out there as well. One of those of differing genders, though. So wants to keep an eye on for future as well. They just, as you say, it's a familial affair out there.
The zone look here with a 3-3-1 from Gentle.
Try and force, you know, a sheer weight of passes to generate the turn. In these wet, slick, horrible conditions, not a terrible call. That one's bladed over the top, comfortably reeled in. Gloved hands of the receiver on the far side. Back now with Metzger. Into the chest of Gaffney. Gaffney off to Diekman. Goes with the lefty into the backfield there to Metzger, just swinging it around comfortably. They have not looked flustered or flummoxed by this zone at all. And there's the play down the far sideline. Diekman's the target again, and it's bang on the money again for two apiece. Diekman's
such a strong target. There, showing it on both of those offensive holds for Wall City. So far, two nice clean offenses. Well, not clean, the first one wasn't clean, but two holds for each team. Both D-lines yet to draw blood. And I was told before the game not to talk all about this, but one thing that will be a little bit tougher for Wall City is their star player, Conrad Schlur, who they told me that they would love to send a hug and all their love over to as he is playing with Pony in New York for the rest of the season in the U.S. at the moment. Could not be here for the EUCF, and that is, he usually plays on their D-line, so that really softens a bit of what they're able to do defensively because he's just such a powerful force, and they're going to have to figure out ways to play around him. You can see their O-line is still playing amazingly, though, especially with Diekman there as a target.
By the way, not the only German World Games player who you would normally see suiting up for Wall City, who's not here because Bastian Spiegel, also not in attendance. Two big losses for a Wall City side that want to prove they are more than just those two stars. Ball goes deep, fielded by Arthur van der Wegen. First pass is to his brother Aaron, faking the over the top.
Arrowhead zone again from Wall City. And they've already melted into person.
That did not take long. Rickards gets the force on the far side. That one, a little short dishy pass to Aaron van der Wegen. Foul on the mark there. Vanderholm just maybe getting a bit too close for comfort. Reset around the back. Thinking about the deep shot, and this one is low and flat. and easy for Ursa to pick off. Here's Paul Rickards. This one towards the sideline. Eichler gets the disc, long hair flowing behind him. Up the line to Rickards. Bending it into the centre. Wang continues. There's a pick downfield that will stop it here, and it will go back into Wang's hands. Playing it short in the backfield. There could be a travel call here.
About 3 throws back, I think.
It's going to go back here to Frank Wang. Checked in, and he's going to reset back to Paul Rickards. Gets it past the mark. They're trying to attack the break side. Rickards bounces back to the open side, clears out. Now trying to scuttle free in the handler space, still count rising. Rickards comes through. Rickards zipping that one around. Eichler's on the end zone line, but still they haven't crossed the precipice yet. Ursa comes through the middle. He got the D, and is he going to throw the assist here? He is to Leo Eichler. Wall City get the game's first break and a 3-2 lead.
Leo Eichler there, as I said, such a fast player. You saw him working so hard on that turn, grinding out those cuts, and eventually finding himself in the end zone as Wall City get their first break.
One of the players you saw do a lot of lifting on that D-line offense in the handler space was Paul Rickards, one of 2 Pauls on this team, along with Paul Herkens. They came through the German junior ranks together, and 2 players with the same name can often be a little bit confusing, but one's a bit more buttoned up and the other likes to let loose, so they're known as Business and Party. I cannot remember which one is which now. It was about an hour and a half ago that I was freshly reminded, but a very business-like offense, I think. Certainly on the turn there from Wall City.
Yeah, very, very disciplined actually for a D-line offense. Really just grinding and working hard, not taking any risky shots. Great stuff there. You may have noticed there, Benji, that you heard the down comes the hammer boom cheer, which has been made famous by Clapham. And a lot of people think now that Wall City has ascended that they have stolen the cheer from Clapham, but I've been told it's the other way around. The cheer actually started at Wall City. Clapham took it, brought it to the international stage, but Wall City, no, that's our cheer. You can't take that from us. Even though we weren't that good back then, it's still ours.
There's no such thing as new ideas anyway. It's all recycled. This one's going to be brought in from the sideline by Gentle. Aaron van der Wegen. Going with a big hammer over the top. And the sliding knee slide. That was a tautology. Ignore it. Toby de Kraan makes the catch. Back to Aaron van der Wegen, and he's just going to give it here to de Kraan. Cheeky, that one, but maybe a little bit too cheeky.
He threw that one without looking. There's really no need for that, Benji. That's more of a moon catcher throw than a gentle throw, in my opinion.
I think both of the big Belgian open powerhouses at the moment, they do ride the wave at times, I think. I'll put it that way. Here's Kronacher. He's going to take this one into the backfield. Oh, was looking for the throw and go, held it. And now Shuey resets his feet. Rob Schumacher, of course, played all over Europe and now playing back in his native Germany with Wall City. Here's Kronacher in the backfield. Finds Wang. Wang past the bidding defender. That's Toby de Kraan. Maczarek. Schumacher. Looking for an option. Going back towards the sideline. Wang gets it past the past Arthur van der Wegen and then just loses his footing a little bit. And given not only how it's slippy out there, but the field has taken a bit of a pounding from the weather and it's been churned up slightly. So it's not a surprise to see players lose their footing every now and again.
You'll see Wang come out there on an injury in the end, as Gentle calls to ask if anyone wants to come out. Doesn't seem like anybody does.
And they're going to bring over one of their O-line handlers, Metzger. Want to try and build this early lead and getting an offensive presence on the pitch to do so. Reset to Schumacher. In the backfield, Herkens finds Metzger. Continuation, Kronaker's just outside the end zone. Will they find the force in? They will indeed. And it's Paul Herkens who makes it 4-2 to the Germans.
There's 2 booms in a row there for Wall City as they get their second break on the trot. Gentle a little bit shaken right now, but they're still in this game. Body language not looking so hot. It's hard to stay positive in conditions like this when you go down, but they have to start fighting right now if they want to get back into it. This game could end at any time, like I said earlier, Benji.
I think that was almost certainly part of the Wall City game plan, that if you can get on top early, just try and snuff out that fire a little bit, especially with the rain. Maybe, use the fact that maybe they feel things aren't going their way. You can get a bit insular at times and can't necessarily focus on your game. That doesn't just go for Gentle. I think that's for everyone. When it's like this, it is so hard to stay mentally on it as well as physically.
See the nice around pass from Metzger to Schumacher, completely open that up, and they just keep attacking the break side once they start that flow.
These Wall City jerseys, by the way, very popular. So here's Paul Herkens, who caught that previous goal. I've been informed that that's business, and Paul Rickards' party. I'll forget that in 5 minutes. Gentle back on offense. They've got that swing, and they're happy to take it from one Van der Weyck to another. Here's Arthur.
You see Wall City calling fire immediately again. They throw on these junky poachy looks just for 1 or 2 passes to stop the pull play, then immediately trust into their person-to-person matchups.
Yeah, they want to stop what you imagine are the big drawn-up deep looks to either of the De Cran brothers, but this time it's Arthur Van der Weyck going deep, and he answers the call just outside the end zone. Oh, he's going with the scuba for the score, but it's not quite in. And then hammered over the top, back to Toby De Cran. Gentle, man, come off it.
What a sequence of throws there. First the huck from Toby to Arthur, then the scuba, then the hammer. Wow, these Gentle guys got it all.
Is there a worse example of nominative determinism than Gentle? Because they don't play anything like that. It's a real harem scarum at times, but when it works, it's so enjoyable.
So that's 4-3. They got the hold back, still down 2 breaks here. While City they're still in a cushiony place and an advantage, but their O-line hasn't stepped out there in a while. You hope they didn't get too cold being out there for 3 points in a row on the sidelines.
You've got to keep yourself warm, keep yourself energized. It's a tougher task in these sort of conditions than it would otherwise be. So the pull comes up from Landon De Cran. He's rubbing his hands there, just getting a bit of warmth in them before catching the pull. Initiating out of the side stack on this near side, the one on the far side as well. But very good job of gumming up that pull play. Tried to pop it over the top, but it's picked away by the Swedish import, Jonathan Angergaard. Now towards the end zone, off the hand of De Cran at the second attempt. No, not to be.
Very unfortunate for De Cran, such a reliable target. Normally couldn't reel that one in. That's really what Gentle needed. We'll see if Wall City gives them another chance.
Really heads-up block there from Jonathan Angergaard. Here's a high release down the sideline. Mossink comes in for the poach. It's not there. Can they find the free player? I think they've got just about recovered into position now. Diekman.
Mossink was originally covering Diekman, but seems like recovery has been made there.
Fuse on the mark. That one goes to the aforementioned Diekman.
You hear Wall City calling danger is always open. I think saying don't throw anything risky. We'll just always get an easy shot to danger. See if that plays out or not.
And if you're going to throw something risky, make sure he's the target. That is always a spicy high release and a brilliant catch under pressure there from Greenwald. Mossink trying his utmost to win that, but he could not. Inside channel furrowed there, nice little dish off, and into the end zone. It's Diekman again. A lot more of a rudimentary score for him this time. Don't need to blade it to the back when you can just use that break side flow and rhythm for a 5-3 lead.
You see Gentle there on defense trying to do a lot of switching against the handlers, and it did work to kind of slow things down, but eventually I think they weren't putting the pressure after the switch. That was the problem in there. Eventually they just kind of went, you see here, Mosink switched on to Gaffney. And now the pass is going to go back over to the break side from that inside shot. See one there, you see Mosink tries to switch again, but not coming in and really shutting that down. If you're going to call for that switch, you have to run and stop that around and stop that flow, and that's what Gentle wasn't able to do. They did get the switch off, but then you have to do what's required after the switch to make that effective.
So 5-3 Berlin over Belgium here. But if you think this game is done, I would beg to differ.
It is a very tough Wall City O-line side to get the disc off of, but Gentle did manage to that last point.
Yeah, first time Wall's O-line had turned it over. Aaron van der Weeg.
Very junky look here from Wall City. We'll see how long they hold it this time.
Again, it's all designed to stop those initial pull plays, prevent Gentle from ending the point in one pass, and make them work it more, or you could bang it with the backhand to Toby de Craan, just leaking out the backside, easy as you like.
I mean, de Craan had a great cut there, but that throw, Benji, my word, high release, backhand, into space, IO, very, very tough throw, and just perfectly placed, perfectly weighted, just a perfect hook.
I think if you're on the mark against the Van der Weegs, I'd try and get close and straight up, do as much as you can to stop those hooks getting off with that sort of ease, although I appreciate that is a lot easier said than done, especially for me, who is an unathletic 5'4". But as you mentioned, it's a sumptuous deep put.
But yeah, as you say, completely unmarked. The second time I think that we've seen Aaron van der Weeg become, you know, just in an unmarked position and then always finding Toby de Craan on the deep space.
Again, you know what they want to do, but stopping it's an entirely different thing.
5-4, Wall City still up a couple breaks here on Gentle. Gentle's offense looking really good when it's looking good. Just made a couple more mistakes than Wall so far, but the bigger difference has been Wall City was able to capitalize on those mistakes. Whereas Gentle, they got the disc and then just out of the hands of Lander de Craan. We'll see what happens this point.
Yeah, a couple of breaks Wall City lead by here. Gentle pulling.
We do see Toby de Craan coming out here, crossing over onto defense.
Yeah, they want to try and eat away at this deficit early.
The longer Wall City matchup.
The longer Wall City can maintain this, the harder it gets to eat it away. Here is the aforementioned de Craan Phil K matchup, and K gets it to Greenwald, his captain on the sideline. High release, coming back into the dump space there. Now around, again high, Metzger elevates well to reel it in. Here's Gaffney. And there's a pick in the center that is going to stop proceedings at the moment as it is in the hands of Phil K.
I'm very curious every point that the Wall City O-line comes on, who is Gentle going to put on Diekman? They've been rotating that matchup a bit. Joram Mosink was on him on the last point. Now they have Lander de Craan. They're trying to find a way to limit him. As we see that huck to Toby de Craan from the last point. Still some conversation here on the call.
I think would not surprise me if the throw here is the blade to Diekman. Oh, they thought about it, and I'll be honest, I would have done it. But they instead just want to, maybe thought that was a bit too obvious, so they're just going to try and get back in rhythm again. That one, high break towards the far side. Lander de Craan got up so early, but the Germans couldn't adjust. Toby with the quick pickup. Underneath, blocked by Gaffney. Brilliant layout, despite the second effort there from Van der Oost.
What a play by Gaffney, usually known for his offensive prowess as kind of the solid rock. I haven't seen him make that many plays like that, but coming out clutch here for Wall City to get the disc back.
Polite there from Ungagord to give Metzger his hat back. Here's Greenwald. Greenwald across the pitch. Coming in central here is K. K towards the end zone, not quite in there is Diekman, but he's going to throw the assist. Does he? No! The block that time from Benjamin Verreken. Here's Ungagord. Finding Lander de Craan, he jacks this, but did not get enough air underneath it, and he looks visibly frustrated with himself.
You saw this, Toby de Craan just pointing his fingers up. Get that up! I will win the matchup in the air. He backs himself against Diekman in the air, but throw it that low, there's no way he's going to get to it.
So one way to prevent him winning in the air is don't let the throw get that elevation. So a couple of turns this point for Wall City. But can they make it work anyway? Active mark. Floating that one. Oh, what a grab by Phil K. Here's Metzger in the center, understanding one to just kind of calm things down a little bit. Gaffney. That backwards Jogo Benito cap. Basov. Dumped off, trying to get that break around, and they do sneak it in there to Diekman. Fakes the offhand. Might go in the backfield here to Metzger. That is the option. Metzger plows the inside channel. Dished off to Diekman. Into the backfield, no. Not seeing anything in the end zone. Will they take the reset? They do find Metzger. Continuation. On the far side, Kay rifles that one in to none other than Danger himself, Jakob Diekman. 6-4 to Wall.
Wow. Got to say, Gentle's defense was very good. Forced them to make a lot of passes, forced to play like that out of Diekman. Got 2 turns, but they couldn't capitalize, Benji. They could not take advantage of the chances that Wall City gave them. I don't think they're going to get that many in this game. They had to cross Tobe over that line. You don't want to do that too often and tire out your star player, who they need on their O-line. But right now, Wall City getting that score. And that makes it, is that 5-4? Is that correct?
It's 6-4.
6-4, yeah.
Just waiting for that to change.
Yeah, I was confused there because I still think Wall City's up 2 breaks right now.
It's definitely not 9-4. We'll wait until they work out the flipping scoreboard on the far side. No, it's now odd 4.
So here we see all these. This is a really intense point here. That layout block there by Benjamin Verreke. My eyes are off the screen, but I hope we got a shot of that layout block by Gaffney, because that one was huge as well.
It was a point that was really back and forth. The rain has eased off. The problem now is that you can see the center of the field has been really churned up by all the vert stack you've been seeing. Not so much in this game, though. Aaron van der Wegen finds his brother Arthur. Still count, just creeping up a little bit here. Aaron van der Wegen gets the little dish short. He might be thinking about the backhand. Oh, it was open, but there was no cut. Instead, trying to squeeze it down the sideline. You can see Toby Declan going for the acrobatic toe in, but the angle on the pass was wrong. And another Wall City opportunity for a break.
Not the mistake you want if you're Gentle. You're already down 2 breaks. You do not want to give Wall City a third going into this half.
Generally, Wall City have had the better of these 2 sides when they've met this year, but Gentle won the big one out in Cincinnati at World Clubs. Wang. Nice reaching grab there with the left hand by Ursa. Ursa here to pull Herkens. Herkens into the end zone for Wang. Easy as you like. 7-4. Wall City 1 away from half now.
Another break there for Wall City. As you said, Gentle did get the win on at Worlds against them. You see here that Gentle finished 18th and Wall City finished 19th, so very, very close there. Earlier this season, they did play, I believe, 2 other times, the Bologna invite and the London invite, where Wall City got the better of them in those 2 matchups. They did not match up at regionals, but again, even if they did, Gentle didn't really have their full squad there, so it wouldn't really count anyways. So
there's a timeout here on the pitch. We'll give both sides a chance to just shake themselves dry and get a bit of a mental reset. We will do the same here in the booth, and we'll be back with you very shortly. Welcome back to EUCF 2022 Open pre-quarter final action. We've got Wall City up 7-4 on Gentle. Elsewhere around in the other pre-quarters, we've got Clapham versus Isno, don't have a score for that. Ranelagh up 6-5 on Panthers Wrocław. On the other stream field, Kuzblafota leading Bad Skid 7-6. Chevy up 5-3 on Costa Rica. KFK 2-0 up on Alba. No score at Heidi's versus Piru that we can see. And Mooncatchers 3SB, 7-6 to Mooncatchers. That is tight.
We hear a lot of noise coming from the Wall City sideline, trying to pump up their D-line to break for half here as Landa de Crane gets it on the sideline.
There's the huck from Landa de Crane. He's looking for his brother Toby. Couple of defenders in the area. The Pauls, business and party combine. But that is a foul call.
Ooh, this is a tough call for me. We're going to take a look here as the throw goes up.
De Crane was the meat in the Paul sandwich.
There's a bit of a push in the back that I think there is some argument there, but I do think the disc was sailing over both of them, so I'm not sure it affected the play. I do see the argument for the contact before the catch, though. We will see here. I think there was contact. The question is, was it significant contact enough that influenced the play?
I wonder if Business and Party are doing the good cop, bad cop routine here on the call. Like, this is a perfectly fine call, I agree with it. And the other one's going, what are you talking about? It's ridiculous.
We'll see here. You see that put right there. That's the thing. Yeah, it's... No, I would say that's a turn.
You feel like it's probably a little bit out of his reach?
Yeah, I think he went up for it at the wrong time, and that was the mistake that was made. There might have been some mild contact, but at this level, you got to let that go, in my opinion.
So, what we think of here in the booth doesn't really matter. It's all about the players on the field coming to a resolution that they're happy with.
I did see the hands signal for accepted, but maybe that was just a mistake. An accidental hand signal. Just putting his hand, like, see, where he hands. I'm going to look at it again here. What's your look, Benji? I've given my opinion a couple times.
I do see it. I do think he gets too far underneath it, and it probably wasn't going to bring it in anyway. But there is the discussion of maybe, does it affect the way he goes up, and would he have had a second chance at it? Who knows? Either way, they've contested it and sent it back.
So go back to his brother, Lander de Crane.
What do you think? Glasgow rules do it again? Or just be a bit more chilled this time?
Probably going to chill it out.
Well, it is de Crane, but this time on the underneath pass. Looking, he wants to shoot it down the sideline. In stride is Arthur van der Wege, and he's in the end zone as well for the score.
It looked like a bit of confusion as to whether he was in or out, but some Wall City players there calling him in. So 7-5, staying within two are Gentle. They have yet to be able to get a break this game. Here we're going to see the shot from Toby de Crane. There's the up-the-line cut. Such a tight spot to throw into. Yeah, I think he was clearly in there. His foot was over the line when he caught that one.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to tell from our angle, but everyone on the field seemed happy enough, and that is the most important thing.
So I do imagine we'll see some crossover, some power defensive lines here, because the O-line isn't going to get another chance this half. Might as well put your strong players out there, try and get a break or two for the break of the game. And I do, as I say that, Toby de Crane is back out there. Lander as well.
Yeah, Lander's instantly recognizable with that distinctive look of his, the mustache and the kind of high, tight dreads. Toby de Crane with the pull. Taking it on the run here. In play now, the Wall City offense. Trying to take us into an 8-5 halftime lead.
You see here Gentle going straight into matchup defense.
And there's the deep shot. Diekman's throwing it rather than receiving it this time. Fuse goes up so early. And actually meant it wasn't perhaps the toughest reception.
Yeah, actually, I think the defender there had position. If he had just gone up at the right time, he could have gotten that D, but as you said, just jumped almost a full second too early, or maybe two.
So, 8-5, to Wall City over Gentle here is your halftime score in this open pre-quarterfinal matchup. We're going to take a little bit of a break here in the booth as the teams have their halftime huddles. Highly recommend that you don't go anywhere because the scintillating second half of this game continues on the other side. Welcome back to EUCF 2022. A slightly abrupt halftime there. It's a bit cold and wet out. I understand wanting to get back into it. Wall City of Berlin, Germany, up 8-5 on Gentle from Ghent, Belgium, as the name might suggest. Benji Rees and Ravi Vasudevan in the booth. And Ravi, what's your kind of cliff note summary of that first half?
This is about what I expected, Benji. I think Gentle have a very strong team, very athletic team, a couple really good star players, but I think Wall City's the deeper team. Wall City's offense has been doing really well. They have made some mistakes, but the big difference has been the D-line offense. Gentle's gotten their opportunities, but have not converted a single break, whereas Wall City got 3 in the first half.
Going with a vertical set to start the second half, and that little Oyo, the blades to the inside-out channel there. Finds Greenwald. Greenwald to Wolf in the backfield, making the catch under pressure. There's a stoppage. I think a pick downfield. Looks like Matthew Willems, who's wearing that protective face mask, wasn't able to keep position there with Basov. Here's Diekman. Diekman, nice little leading pass down that sideline to Greenwald. Greenwald resets. Happy to lose the yardage there to Metzger to keep the disc moving now towards the sideline. Diekman settles himself underneath it. Catches it with 2 outstretched arms. Metzger with the lead pass, the inside out to the end zone for the score.
What a sneaky little pass in there to Vlad Basov. That was looked a little tricky, but it did work out. Wall City again take the score. And as they got those 3 breaks to start off and started on defense, they get that kind of extra half break coming out of half on offense, scoring it 9-5.
Yeah.
So they're up 4 points. So Gentle's got a lot of work to do if they want to get back into this one.
The old little 2 for none, where you get 2 possessions back to back, and the opponent doesn't even get a sniff. You see here's the swing to Diekman on this near side, and then fakes it, looks for the backhand, makes the eyes with Metzger, that little dish with the offhand, and then sits down on the inside flick, and Basov just past the bidding frame of Matthew Willems.
Wall City, a very strong German side. They won German nationals for the first time in at least a very long time, getting the win over Heidi's, I believe, who were the ones who take down Bad Skid in semis. So they didn't get to beat Bad Skid this year at German nationals. I asked them if that felt a little sour or not, because I know they really wanted to, take it from Bad Skid. They said, yeah, we've actually beat them enough in regular season tournaments that we don't feel like it's totally unwarranted. We feel like we deserve the championship. We feel good about it. But they would still like to beat Bad Skid in German nationals when Bad Skid's back at full strength at some point.
With Matthew Willems, by the way, wearing the protective face mask because he broke his nose out in the States. I must admit, he throws himself around like he wouldn't know. Aaron van der Wegen. On the far sideline is brother Arthur. Goes for that leading backhand down the far side. And this one bladed over the top and gave the opportunity to be knocked away by Eichler.
Another great defensive play by Eichler, taking the Toby DeCrown matchup. Just a little bit undercooked was that pass.
I must admit, the blade across like that, I'm not sure it's the right shape of throw. Be better off going with the hammer that kind of curls around in the opposite direction there. Johnson centers to Schumacher. Here's Kronacher. He's looking for an option underneath, but he might have to look and isolate Schumacher. He does. Schumacher looking down the sideline and towed in by Johnson, I think it is.
Yeah, it's an ex-Clapham connection there. Schumacher to Johnson. They keep it going.
Two of them very much veterans of the scene now. High stall, Schumacher with the offhand, backhand. Just had to get rid of it to prevent the stall out. And right into the hands of Toby DeCrown. He's going deep. He's looking for it. Arthur van der Wey this time is only too happy to oblige. And Toby DeCrown greedily collects for another goal and 9-6.
To be safe, you saw that coming a mile away. Toby DeCrown gets that D off of Schumacher's offhand throw and then just keeps running deep, and Schumacher was the one who ended up picking him up deep. Schumacher's a great player for a number of things, but I do not back him to take out Toby DeCrown in the air. Once Arthur saw that was the matchup, he just kind of put it up and knew that DeCrown was going to get there pretty easily.
Maybe a decade ago, I'd have backed Shuey, but then...
I don't know how old DeCrown was.
Toby was I guess he's still a child.
To be fair.
But you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
I'll be honest, 10 years ago, I wouldn't back me against Toby DeCrown. Even though he would, as you say, still be a child. It's not Aaron van der Wey. I guess that's something. It's just the other one of the other ones instead, Arthur. Again, they're more than happy to put those slightly unorthodox backhands to what is kind of that forehand space because the marks are a little bit loose and they get the opportunity to really step into it. Open pre-quarterfinals here at EUCF 2022. Wolf catches the pull and finds Metzger. Inside break to Diekman, again operating out of the vertical set here in this second half for Wall City. Agda into the center. Now getting it back. Oh, it bounces out of his hands. Wall City with another break opportunity. They haven't been able to capitalize so far. Can they do so here? Still count rising. Undergord into the center. A maelstrom of bodies underneath it, and eventually it hits the floor. Gentle have generated turns, but Wall City's defense has been strong enough to get it back at every opportunity.
You have to give some credit to Jakob Egde there, who got the D back off of his drop. And if you make the mistake on offense, if you get it back on D, it's nothing. There's no problem with that.
They do talk about the great players having short memories. You know, you've got to put your mistakes behind you and just can't dwell on them. Go out there and get it back. Greenwald inside to Diekman. Gets a lot of grass and gets DeCrown biting on the mark. Trying for the switch here. It's going to leave the handler free for a long old time, but they don't have any real cuts that they can bounce off it. Undergord comes up empty and gets a lot of mud on his jersey for his troubles. Wolf with the fake, excuse me, hammering over the top to Gaffney. Here's Diekman. After it looked very static downfield, it feels like this is a proper grind for Wall City this point. Agda to Diekman. Breaking around, pops up a little bit, not a problem though for Greenwald. Greenwald with a continuation, and Lander DeCrown rips it away.
Another chance for the Gentle D-line to get a break. Can they capitalize and punch one in finally here in this game?
And a timeout called there for Gentle. I think they can see how crucial the break here would be. Cannot afford to squander another opportunity, and they feel that taking it slow is their best chance of doing so.
Yeah, they haven't managed to do it yet, and so usually I'm not a big fan of taking timeouts in points. There you see the drop by Jakob Agde, and here you're going to see him get it back on that inside shot. Bounces out of the hands of the Gentle player. Jakob comes up with it on that pack of players. And a nice catch there by Diekman.
I mean, there are players throwing themselves around left, right, and centre, as you would probably expect in the knockout game at Euros. We're going to take a brief breather in the booth as well. Back with you shortly. Wall City 9, Gentle 6 is the current score here at EUCF 2022 in the open pre-quarters.
So as I was saying before, I'm not usually a fan of taking timeouts in points, especially with a team like Gentle. You want to use your timeouts in between points to rest your stars and put them in for the other places where they want to go. But in this situation where you've had a whole game go by and your D-line is yet to score a single break, this is the time maybe you want to say, okay guys, let's calm down. Let's figure out a plan. Let's not just go, fiery off the turn and do something with it. We'll see if it pays off here, but the problem with timeouts in game is that it just allows the defense to clamp down and set up, and I think that's usually, in my opinion, to the advantage of the defense, and we know that everyone talks about the statistic that like the throw after the timeout is a little more likely to become a turnover than any other throw in the game, I think.
You've just got to take those extra seconds to get everyone moving and in motion.
You see a horizontal stack coming here from the Gentle offense.
The winner of this game plays the winner of Heidi's and Peru in the quarterfinals. Here's the deep shot. This time Toby de Kran's throwing it rather than receiving it, and he finds his brother Lander. Dished off here to Toby de Kran. He's going for the end zone for Lander de Kran. Gentle have their first break. They are not going down quietly.
And I really like the body language there. Toby de Kran getting fired up. I mean, he's going to have to play. He's going to have to put on a big role in the rest of this game if he's going to want to win. So he has to keep that energy up, keep that energy going. I don't think he's going to leave the field too many points here, Benji, for the rest of the match.
It would not surprise me if both sides tighten things up here as the game ticks on.
I do think Wall City is a bit more of a deep team. I think they have more of established O and D line roles than Gentle do. And so I wouldn't be surprised if right now Gentle tightens things up, whereas Wall City will stick to their lines, but we'll see how that plays out later in the game. I think some of the O-line players on Wall City aren't typically the guys you actually want on defense. They actually have their D-line players are better defenders, O-line players are better offensive players, not like some teams where you put your top players on O and your next players on D. So I'm not sure that it'll be the same strategy for both teams here.
Wall City also do have extra players on the roster, 4 more than their opponents, and how will that extra just bit of energy be important as the game ticks on? We shall see.
Here the score is now 9-7. Just a 2-point difference between these two teams as Gentle go back out there to see if they can put another break on the board. We do see Tobit and Lander both going out this point, giving some play time to the rest of the boys in green.
Gaffney. Looking for an option, still count rising. Back to Metzger. Nice underneath here to gain some yards to Greenwald. Greenwald absolutely rips this, but Diekman had planted to come underneath.
Yeah, just a miscommunication on the huck. It's a classic problem where when you throw, your player comes under right at the moment that you release. It's something a lot of teams practice of like having a communication between the thrower and the cutter, of a pump fake to bring you under. Here it just didn't work out for Wall City, and Gentle with an opportunity to bring the game within 1.
So they begin it just swinging in the backfield. Verreken. Well, that looks pretty picky to me. Aaron van der Wege will give them some offensive arm strength on this possession.
You see Gaffney here poaching off of Arnout van der Oost a little bit. He's realizing that where Arnout is at the moment is not exactly the most dangerous position, trying to cut off that IO lane.
Still count must be rising here. They do get it off to Angegord. He's looking and surveying for options. Verreken underneath. Here's Van der Roost. Van der Roost rips it, but Diekman was ready and waiting for it, and Willems never really had a chance.
Yeah, that wasn't really a shot, wasn't really on. You see these players here on this Gentle D-line, it's not a lot of the names that we talk about more, except for maybe Aaron van de Vega. Most of this was kind of the next level of Gentle players, and you saw there that, yes, they got the turn, but they struggled a lot to get free against this intense Wall City O-line defense.
Also, not the first time we've seen that from Diekman. When he's in position to get the block, he likes not catching it so he can give his offense and the powerful throwers at the helm a chance to pick up.
He knows his role well on this team.
He's coming underneath. Goes with the lefty into the center. Kay opens up. All that is curling away from the defender and into the arms of Greenwald.
Not the prettiest throw in the world, but it works.
And another blade over the top to Diekman again. Comes up, trumps once more over Matthew Willems for 10-7.
Couple speculative throws there at the end for Wall City, but it does work out. Gentle should be happy that second string type of D-line was able to generate that much pressure to force those kind of throws, but got to be frustrated that they just got the disc and could not do much with it at all. That bailout huck, it was really the only option they have. Here we see that first throw from Phil Kay. Definitely not the way I think he intended for that disc to come off. Still successful. And then the blade to the corner here. High in the air for Diekman. That's probably a bit more the intention behind it. And now 10-7 is the score as Wall City are trying to inch their way closer and closer to a quarters final berth.
So on this side of the bracket, we mentioned the winner of this game faces the winner of Heidi's Peru. Also, on this side, Ranelagh up 10-7 on Panthers. Mooncatchers up 8-7 on 3SB. Last we saw on Ultimate Central. On the other side, Clapham against Isno. The winner plays the winner of KFK versus Alba. And last I saw, KFK were up 9-4. Kustblafota up 9-7 on Bad Skid, also on that side of the bracket. And the winner of that game faces the winner of Chevron versus Costa Rica, which is currently Chevy 8-5. Here's the deep shot again from Gentle. Again, it's Toby DeCran, and again it works. Forgive me if I sound like a broken record, but you understand why they enjoy it. And then again, the lead pass into the end zone. Toby finds Lander.
I think that's the third time this game that Toby catches a huck just shy of the end zone and throws a beautiful leading pass to a continuation person after the throw. It's incredible stuff that he's doing there, but 10-8 is the score. And they're going to have to win this game on defense. It's still a really tough ask. They got that one break. They got a couple opportunities. But at this point, Benji, if I'm Gentle, I want to be tightening my lines up, saving my timeouts for well, I think they have one timeout left. They used one. Saving that for a key moment where my Tobe and Lander are tired so they can call a timeout, rest them, and put them back out there again. Because I don't think they win this game on their depth. They have to win this game with their star power. This is the weakness they have compared to Wall City. They don't have as many top players. It's going to come down to how conditioned these stars, how much can they push through, because if they keep these guys out there, they might be able to get one or two more breaks, but then you also increase your chances of mistakes, you also increase your chances of fatigue. See how it goes, Benji. Wall City definitely the advantage, but Gentle's going to do everything they can to try and bring this game back to even.
And this is not playing on a fast 4G track. This is in heavy, muddy, clumpy conditions underfoot, and everything just takes that little bit of extra exertion.
Lander de Krane coming out here with the pull. Wall City with the typical O-line on the other side.
Wolf catches it, and he finds Metzger, that faded red cap. Greenwald sneaks that one through. Nice reaching snag there by Kay. Metzger clears out, goes up line, looking lead pass. It gets him in stride. Now Diekman cutting towards the end zone again. It's that one-on-one sky ball, and they set up those end zone isolations for Jakob Diekman superbly.
I think that I'm not sure if Toby Cronin was in on that point, but if he was, I don't know why he doesn't have the Diekman matchup. I think that's the only chance they have to limit him. Every other person they put on him, Diekman just ends up open in the end zone with acres of space. Such an athlete, such a tough person to stop. So 11-8's the score now. Wall City just a few more points away from going to the quarterfinals, but Gentle still not out as they're back out here with their O-line. Take a look at some of these passes again. Fil K with that beautiful, I think that was into the break side around upline pass to Metzger.
On a high stall as well.
I was about to commend Arthur for his coverage of Metzger in the backfield. He didn't get the dump cuts he want, but he just cut up into the break side up the line space, and K was able to beautifully put it there. That's not an easy throw.
You've got to give up something. You can't stop everything.
And I think that's actually the mark's fault. I think the mark probably got greedy on the high stall count and didn't cut off that up the line break side pass.
Arthur van der Weyga to Aaron van der Weyga. This one high down the sideline. Toby de Kran doesn't even really have to tie that in, easy. And now he's putting it into the end zone. Chasing underneath it, the gentle receiver. Can't stick the catch. They were not far away.
Looked pretty good when he launched and got his hand on the disc, but just couldn't keep it in his hand through the ground contact. It's Martin Kronacher is going to go pick up the disc. Player who used to play for Wall City before, had a few years on Bad Skid, and now back with Wall City for the past couple of years as well. He's bounced around the German scene. Now, one of the typical D-line handlers here out there for Wall City.
This would extend their advantage to 4. Kronacher. Looking for Schumacher. Again, sitting this one into space. Toby de Kran closed on it, but couldn't get there. Matcharek into the center, no! Into Lander de Kran's grasp. And now he's putting it up, looking the blade, fading over towards that far side. Oh, there was nothing Schumacher could do. And once more, Toby de Kran demonstrates why he's one of the most exciting players in Europe.
Incredible presence of mind there from Arthur van der Weyga to get that defensive play. He just read everything beautifully.
If you kind of were not familiar with Toby de Kran coming into this game, you know, it's understandable. Not everyone watches as much Ultimate as we do. I get it. But he is just something else.
You see here again.
This is just the Toby de Kran highlight reel, essentially. That's the very first point of the game. And already he's just demonstrating what sort of player he is.
Here, another huck up to de Kran. So hard to stop in the deep space. And again, like I said, he catches the huck and then throws it. I love the swag on that one.
He shouldn't have checked. He should never have checked. It would have been so much cooler. It's just Toby de Kran with play after play this game.
And he is back out there on the D-line now along with his brother. And at least Aaron van der Weyga.
This time Angegord's beaten deep, and the trailing edge layout from Hartley Greenwald for the goal. Whoa. Heart-in-mouth moment there, but it works. 12-9. They lead by 3, and they need 3 to win.
Tough spot for Gentle to be in. They just completely, that's one thing, you cannot let the O-line score quickly for Wall City. You want to keep them out there. You want to be making those points hard so that you can force them to get tired and make more mistakes later in the game. If you let off those easy throws, the O-line's just going to come out there whenever they want. Timeout call here, I believe, by Wall City.
Yeah, I think they maybe want to get their best D-line rested up so they can send them out here, get another break, and really try and kill the game off.
All right, let's take a break of ourselves here to see another catch from Toby de Kran, and we'll be back in a couple minutes after this timeout.
Welcome back to EUCF 2022 Open Pre-Quarterfinals. Berlin's Wall City against Rens Gentle. And Wall City up 12-9 here. The Belgians receiving, trying to eat away at this deficit that the Germans have created. Oosterlink. Oh, a little bit of a fumble there, but Moans recovers. Declan. Oh, the rare error. Just bounces out of the hands of Oosterlink.
I could hear here on the sideline a little bit of a debate between the Wall City, whether they wanted to play tight defense or just play and force them to the unders. It was a difference of opinion here. Whatever it was, the players in the field got the turnover they needed.
Wang sits this one into space. Not quite in the end zone yet is Ursa. Back to Wang. Just a little pop off there. Just have to play it around the backfield because they're not finding a scoring option as yet. I think Landon de Crown was baiting the hammer to the far side. Joel Ben Yosef, ULTI.TV zone. Dumps it off. The reset side still not in. How long can they keep patient? Can they run the system? Venderholm. Rickards to Ursa. Ursa blading down. Oh, it is all party right now as Paul Rickards catches the goal to make it 13-9, and that might be the dagger.
It's a tough one to swallow if you're Gentle. They just had a cold drop there and a wide open pass, and that gave Wall City the chance they needed. Wall City's D-line has been ruthless when they get the disc. Nick Gentle, sadly, has not been able to get the same amount of breaks. So right now 13-9, and Wall City just a couple points away from that quarterfinals berth.
I can't believe there's a player with a surname that's spelt Moons who's playing for Gentle. Feels like he's on the wrong Belgian side, but there you go. Here's the replay of the score. Ursa laying it down the sideline. I'll tell you what, those plays have been very successful for the Germans, and Paul Rickards reeling it in. 2 points away from victory now. Before the game, you were backing Wall City.
Yeah, like I said, I think they're a deeper team. I think they have more talent spread throughout. I think they have a better system of play, whereas Gentle has a couple of stars that are amazing. They can do some great things, but I just backed Wall City. I think they're just the stronger side right now.
Yeah, they seem to be proving it. It's been a long campaign for both these sides. So, yeah, you maybe understand that a season takes its toll. Gentle maybe don't have as large a roster as a lot of teams, and that might be coming to hurt them a little bit here. First pass is the swing in the centre to Arthur van der Wege. He's going to continue here to Oosterlink, who had the disc bounce out of his hands on the previous point that gave Wall City the opportunity for the break. Oosterlink again. Toby de Kran, be more mud than man at this point. Centering pass. Faking a couple of options. Things looking a little bit stagnant downfield. Taking the reset. Here's Landon de Kran. His brother's calling for it. This one low and flat, and those do not seem to work for Gentle because the Wall City defense was ready. Here's Kronacker looking deep himself. Can Toby de Kran close the gap? Oh no, that is an expert box out from Sunka Macharek. Done that superbly. And then eventually Toby de Kran sticks on the force, but there's a player wide open behind him. A little swing with the hips there from Sunka Macharek in celebration, and Wall City 1 away from the win.
And that's Florian Offeroth with the catch for the score there for Wall City on another break. The two booms you can hear there, 2 breaks in a row, 14-9. They're now 1 point away. The winner of this game will face the winner of Heidi's versus Peru. I believe Heidi make it, and that'll be a German national championship rematch.
And that is that's a spicy meatball right there. This is a superb box out by Macharek. I mean, cannot do it any better than that.
Elsewhere in the Mooncatcher's now up 12-7 against 3SB. Ranelagh up 14-9 against those games. Also a bit of a cushion there. I don't have scores of Clapham Isno, but KFK 12-7 up on Alba. Shocker probably to some people that the boys from Copenhagen taking out the Scots there.
Hey,
not fully done yet. Kuzlafota up 12 on Bad Skid, and Chevron Action Flash up 10-6 on the Costa Rica Grandes.
I was going to say KFK. People, I think, maybe a bit harshly underestimated them, given that, you know, they just casually finished in the top 16 in the world.
They did, but I thought they were going to be missing a few pieces here. I didn't think they were bringing their full team. At regionals, they didn't actually qualify for this tournament. They got 7th in the region, but some other team dropped out and they managed to get an invite. Was
it another team from their region or a team from elsewhere?
I know.
Have a look.
Not something you hear from me often, but...
Here's Lander de Cran. Look deep for his brother Toby over the outstretched arm of Ursa. There was nothing to do, and the de Crans hook up once more for 14-10.
That will be the offensive point for Gentle this game. They have to get 5 D points in a row here. You see teams huddling up. I'm not sure if a timeout's being called or they're just trying to figure out what kind of D-line to throw out, because it's do or die right now for the season.
Yeah, they've only broken once this game, Gentle. So, you know, I'm not saying 5 breaks in a row. Yes, it is unlikely. But alternatively, it's just 1 break in a row 5 times. And that seems easy. Easier.
1 break in a row hasn't been something that Gentle have come up with too much this game. As you said, they only had 1, but still got to play the game out, Benji. We'll see what happens in the end of this game.
That's how you have to approach it, I think, though. Just take by point. We do have our first confirmed quarterfinalist, and that will be Ranelagh after a 59 win over Panthers. Wolf catches the ball in his own end zone. Will this be the last possession, the last point of the game? Diekman coming underneath, slashing towards that far sideline. Metzger stumbles a little bit, but still gets the disc. Continuation to Gaffney. Kay surveying. Oh, there's a player who's taken off deep, but instead Diekman gets it underneath. They've got Lander de Cran up against the big man. We just hinted at the hammer, no more, before putting it away. Metzger high towards the far sideline. Gaffney, where he's marked by Toby de Cran, who loses his footing again. You can tell that the field is really being churned up underfoot. Wolf. Oh, I think there's a piece of that on the mark. Arthur Vangoega signals that there was.
So Gentle with a chance to get the first break they need. Things go here for the boys in green.
And here is the man who got the turn, Arthur Vangoega. Underneath to Ungergaard. Dumps it off. Verreken. Back to Arthur Vangoega. He's putting some air underneath it. All this is fading away, but not a problem for Toby de Cran. With the hammer. Oh, I think that was tipped on the mark.
One hand block deserves another, Benji.
I think maybe telegraphed that option a little bit. And Phil Kay was ready and waiting.
Not sure what the call is here.
I think an injury for Lander de Cran, and that'll bring on Aaron Vangoega.
Wall City also with a chance to take a sub. And they are going to take that opportunity here.
Just going to get a look at who's come on. It looks like Ursa's come on. We see him often as a D-line handler, but coming over to the O-liner here.
Yeah, Hartley's coming out.
So Metzger will pick up. Another chance to ice the game. Breaking into the centre. Ursa having just come on to make that one. And takes the timeout. Is he the designated timeout taker? Is that why they've done it?
Oh, we see a timeout here.
Don't want anyone else to lose their fantasy ultimate points.
This one I'm not sure about. I'm not sure exactly what advantage they gain by timeout in this instance, but they're going to take one. And I think we'll also take a quick break here. But the conclusion of this game coming up very soon, so don't go anywhere.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
Open pre-quarterfinal action here at EUCF 2022 in the rain-drenched fields here at Caorle, Italy. Wall City 49 over Gentle. Berlin versus Ghent. And Ursa has the disc checked in on the mark off the timeout by Aaron van der Weger. On the near side with Kay. Rifles that one through the centre of the pitch. Basov can't get a hand on it, and there's no chance for Diekman to come across and cover either.
That disc just did not come off his hands the way he wanted. I'm sure he wanted that to be higher and a bit floatier, but that one just going straight to the ground. So Gentle with another chance to break. That timeout did not suit Wall City in this instance.
Turnout strikes again. Van der Weger. High for Willems. Finds Ungergaard. What does the Swede have up his sleeve? Cheeky inside break to Arthur van der Weger. He finds Verreken. Back in the hands here of Verreken. Inside across the pitch, Aaron van der Weger. With the steepling hammer, this will come down with snow on it, and Metzger had position.
Metzger just ate that up. So again, Gentle's D-line gets the opportunity, not able to capitalize in the story of this whole game, Benji. If they had capitalized on every D they've gotten, they would be winning this game.
Doesn't even need to be everyone, just, you know, more than one. Here's a deep shot. They're looking for Diekman. Ungergaard up against him, but Diekman got the box out, floating this one up for Kay, and Kay skies and posterizes, and we will see Wall City tomorrow in the quarterfinals.
Great game for Wall City, great game from Ghent. As I said, they're a little bit not quite as deep of a team as Wall City. They managed to get the turns. They managed to have their O-Stars do amazing things when they could, but in the end, the depth of Wall City was just too much for Ghent to handle, and Ghent's real issue here was the inability to convert on their D chances. Here we're going to see the final point again. Big Huck going up. Diekman has been such a good target all game, goes up strong, throws it up to Kay. Ungergaard does his best to put some pressure on, but it would have been nothing but a foul, really, as he just goes through the body of Kay, and Wall City and Berlin will be going up against the winner of Heidi's and Piru tomorrow in the quarterfinal.
And I think for Wall City, they'd probably back themselves in that game and go one further than they did last year and make the semi-finals, although you've got to play the game first. You can't kiss that semi-final berth already. It's still not done. Elsewhere in the open pre-quarters around the tournament, do not have a score for you in Clapham versus Isnagood. Last we heard, KFK up 12-7 on Alba. Kuzblafota have seen out a 15-12 win over Bad Skid. They will play the winner of Chevron Action Flash against Costa Rica Grandes, which at the moment looks like being Chevy, up 11-8. On the other side of this half of the bracket, Ranelagh beat Panthers Wrocław 15-9. Mooncatchers up 14-9 on 3SB, so looking like Ranelagh Mooncatchers tomorrow. Wall City, of course, we saw here, up 15-10, the victory over Gentle, and they will face the winner of Heidi's Peru, but we do not have a score for that as of yet. Ravi, another fun day, admittedly a bit wet.
Just a little bit of wet spice, but it's fine. It's fine. Just makes things a little more interesting. And we didn't get the worst of it. I think the last round definitely suffered from the conditions here. We just got a little wet. Maybe we got the field a little muddy. Just add a little bit of variety to the games here, Benji.
Got to keep the fans entertained. Got to keep them guessing. Never know what the elements might throw at you here at EUCF 2022 from the airport fields of Caorle, Italy, and that is day 2 done and dusted in the books. And tomorrow it gets even more exciting because we go into quarterfinals in the Open and Women's division. The mixed wraps up pool play before the semi-finals at the end of the day. Of course, we've got both. We've got the semi-finals in all 3 divisions, and of course all the finals for you on Sunday. So, tell you what, if you're not here in Caorle, I'd settle myself, put my spot on the sofa for the next couple of days, and I'd be tuned right here for free on ULTI.TV's YouTube channel. And I genuinely mean that. If I wasn't here, that is absolutely what I'd be doing.
Thank you, Benji. I think we'll wrap this day up. And for Benji Reese, I'm Rai Vasudevan. Stay tuned to ULTI.TV tomorrow for quarterfinals and semifinals action. That's it for today. See you guys tomorrow.
See you on the other side.
Merci beaucoup.
ULTI.TV.